Happy Brawlteenth.
Happy Brawlteenth. Happy Brawlteenth. Make sure you
I want you to know, if you ever anywhere,
make sure
and you throw that cap in the air,
we all go up. If the cap go up, we all go up.
I'll promise you I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing.
Make sure I had to make sure I sat in a folding chair today.
Okay.
I had to make sure I had me a folding chair.
Okay.
And went near some water.
Right, splash a little bit, splash. Make sure I can swim real good. Water.
And then
I had a little sweet tea too.
You got
a little sweet tea.
You got to put sneakers in the water because he swam through the water with sneakers and jeans
fully
on.
Clothed, okay. Because you know he's catching nothing but ass whoopers. He wasn't tired. I know I was going across the thing, but you catching his ass whooping. I got my sneakers wet too. Who you catching hell? Ain't nothing more angrier than a man with wet shoes.
Okay,
when his shoes is wet.
I mean, he wasn't even thinking about his clothes. He was like, I got to come help Unc.
Right? Because they said they need that.
Okay.
So since you need
they needed it. I don't know where we are. Let's see if our stuff is on here.
Lord Jesus, help us.
That's our stuff.
All right. Okay. You better know our color scheme.
I made them. You ready?
Girl, I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Got my nice bra.
Hush.
This is Brunch, Blaze, and Bap,
where we eat, elevate, and talk about
media trends from the past,
the present,
and the future
from a Black perspective.
I'm your host, Roger Turner.
And I'm your host, Alexis Bertrand.
So sit back,
spark up,
and let's get into it.
Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Roger, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Girl, I'm good, girl. Summer is summering. I'm all like sun-kissed. I'm just like 70% cacao over here. I'm just...
Come on, dark chocolate.
Okay, I'm going to give you dark chocolate.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of sun, too.
Okay.
So everybody's getting... Because you do look like you're glistening.
You know what I'm saying? I've been outside, baby. I've been outside.
You've been drinking this water.
I've been drinking this water and being outside living my best life. Except for on a 100 day, because I'm too black for that. 100 degrees in New York City ain't fun. I don't give a shit how you slice that.
How was your brunch?
Okay. So brunch was cute. I've been eating my best life. Okay, so I decided I want to make some French toast, but with challah bread, right? And
challah bread?
Challah bread, honey. It was so. Honestly, that's the only bread you should ever make French toast with. I'm just saying, it's so good. And anyway, I like using it. Maybe that's one of the New York things that I've kind of grown into. But I me some French toast with a little egg. That's all I wanted. It was great. A little scrambled egg. It was great.
Egg and French toast.
Put a little banana on it. A little, powdered sugar. It was dope. It was so good. What about you? What you eat?
I had my vegetable smoothie.
Because you are so into yourself and getting it together and making sure you are healthy.
Well,
and shit.
I just came from Philly from the Black Star Film Festival. So.
Come on, shout out Black Star Film Festival.
So I've been eating like shit.
You ain't know. You been eating like black. You been eating like blackity black.
Let me tell you, honey. Listen, Philly's a black ass city.
Not a black city, but a black ass city.
That is when you trying to get from your hotel to the film and you walking down Patti LaBelle Boulevard.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is a black city.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I love that.
Okay.
Somebody loves you, baby.
I was in my hotel and I was like, you know how you got the little hotel products, the little skincare products?
Yeah.
The skincare products were called Who is Elijah? I said, honey,
and you know they black.
I said, honey, who is she?
Who is Elijah? It's the voice you're using it because I bet you the artwork kind of gave that vibe.
It was just a black and white bottle. Mm-hmm. It was a white bottle with black print on it. And I was like, well, who is Elijah? Because she's making money, honey.
I love that.
She's all up in this Bellevue hotel.
I bet you it's like a small business that they support. Go ahead, Philly, you black ass city.
So I've had lots of cheesesteaks. And
oh my God, yes.
Some fried chicken and
fried rice,
baby. Breakfast. Lots of grits. You know, Philly got some grits.
Now wait a minute. Now these grits rival your grits?
Well, one place did.
Oh,
because I went to the local place, which was Greasy Spoon place, and
that's where
grits,
you gotta go.
Grits are served are more. You'll find grits in more places in Philly than you will in New York.
Yes,
so
absolutely. I think you only really find them in diners here, or some of the local black-owned restaurants that.
Any place that sells breakfast in Philly, they got grits. All right, so I went, and it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't they were seasoned, but they were still like not the consistency I like. They were a little watery. But then I went to this mom and pop place that was black owned, and them grits was right. Damn. Right.
I'm gonna need that.
But yeah, but didn't eat a lot of that. So I had my vegetable smoothie. I had a nice salad with some grilled chicken on it. You know,
doing it right.
Just trying to cleanse
Come
my
on,
body,
the body
of all that salt and grease that I had
I ain't
this
mad at you. I
weekend.
ain't mad at you at all.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how high are you?
I'm like at a happy 7.5. Like I'm feeling real good. It's climbing, but it's a nice little climb. I'm feeling really nice right now.
She's cute.
And she is a cute time right now.
I'm still down here at a 6.
I'm gonna need you to come on.
I'm still down here at a 6.
Okay, that's fine.
It'll get up there.
Oh,
it'll
it usually
rise.
does.
And usually when I'm slurring my words, can't figure out what I'm talking about. You want to tell the people what we talking about today?
Yes, I do. So this talk we're going to have today is going to be completely joyous, even though it's coming out of some unfortunate circumstances. So recently we lost the incredibly talented Malcolm-Jamal Warner in an accident. I believe he was vacationing with his family.
He drowned in the ocean off the Limon Province of Costa Rica.
Just completely tragic and horrible. There's obviously different levels of stardom. There's different levels of celebrity status. And I feel like losing one celebrity like this so tragically, this particular type of celebrity, like hit a lot of people in a very tender spot. It's not like, and I'm not shading anything with the other celebrities that we lose. I just feel like every now and again when we lose someone of this level, you can just kind of see the response online. Like it hits people in a very tender spot, particularly those of us of a generation or those who might have been introduced to his work like later on in life. But particularly to our generation, when we got to grow up with Malcolm-Jamal Warner as he portrayed Theo on the Huxtables, it just reminded me of in hearing the outpouring of love and people tell their stories and their connection to his work. It reminded me personally of how much of a high regard I had for his portrayal of this character. How I would argue that inside of Black culture, particularly growing up as a young kid in the 80s and 90s, when I would hear my elders or my parents say, I want you to be an upstanding young man. I want you to be kind of your own person, that they, in their mind, had this image of Theo Huxtable that was played by Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Like they saw him. And quite frankly, even when I thought of how I wanted to show up in the world, I would often think of not necessarily what would Theo do, but he became like a grounding definition for me to run it through the filter in my brain if I was going to try something, if I was going to do something. He became like a compass, a blueprint, if you will. And so when you have someone like that, that means so much. And so many people carry that similar kind of thought. Like I thought we needed to honor that. Like they have that same sentiment when they think of this character because he was so powerful. Theo Huxtable in many ways was history breaking, just like the show, and history making and culture creating in many different ways. So I thought the best thing we could do is kind of like honor Malcolm-Jamal Warner's legacy and his work, his inspiration, and talk to that a bit because I would love to hear, just your thoughts on that as well. And let's offer up a few other talented Black actors who kind of encompass what I would say like Black boy joy in its entirety. So sorry for being long-winded, but I wanted to make sure that I captured the why behind we're talking about what we're talking about today. So the title of this episode is The Power of Black Boy Joy.
All right. I love that.
I'm so here for this because
I really enjoy this.
I love this. I love where we're going to go with this today.
So I think it's time for us to Oh, pull back the curtain.
So what you thinking? Pull back the curtain. What you got?
All right, so I really wanted to talk about like why Malcolm-Jamal Warner was so important. And
Yes.
I want to just set the tone for the time period. Now, like, I think it's really important for us to understand that before Malcolm-Jamal Warner, we didn't really have a portrayal of Black boyhood that was not written or created by a white person.
Agreed.
Before that time, the most, relevant or visible Black teenage characters would probably have been like JJ. On Good Times.
Yes, or I'm thinking Different Strokes.
Different Strokes
With Todd Bridges.
All of the characters from What's Happening.
Yep. Silver Spoon. With a very young Alberto Rivero.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Alfonso, thank you.
Yeah.
They all were written by white.
Yeah. And
the ones we just named were really drenched in like Black struggle. Not to say that it wasn't important, but the ones we just named right there were also, I think, inspired. And I think largely, also like, well, not necessarily the Jeffersons, because nobody was really, really young on that show.
Or teenagers.
Sorry. But I'm just thinking about the ones we just named. All of that's kind of around the same struggle theme.
Well, it was
purposefully in many ways.
Well, I think
in many ways.
I think it was what white television creators or television producers or writers, how they wanted to make their contribution to Black culture.
And this is what they thought the Black experience was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was them introducing the Black experience, or they thought they were opening up the world to Black experience, but it was their version of what the Black experience was, not what it actually was.
Mm.
So
that's what I wanted. I think two things can be true. I think, yes, they did open the door, and they came with this really skewed, effed up narrative. Like, this is what it must be, because this is what I see and this is what I think that it is.
Right.
So we opened the door, but we kind of fucked y'all.
And these actors
or pigeonholed.
The actors themselves brought as much truth and clarity as they could with their performance, even though the truth wasn't really there on the paper.
Bam. There you go.
And so I saw Black boys like me on television, but I didn't see like the type of life that I was living, because I wasn't living in their projects.
Right.
That's not the type of struggle or experience that I was living. So
right. I wasn't adopted by, I didn't have a white dad that adopted me. Not to say that experience didn't exist, but you're right. There were Black boys on television, but none of those narratives really spoke to me at all.
To me at all. And because this was the only narratives that that white people were seeing, a lot of Black boys our age during that time period were having a lot of assumptions made about us.
Yes.
Because that's what white people saw, or that's how they saw us.
Yeah.
And so it was the first time where the idea of who we could be or have us be humanized a little more in the eyes of a broader audience was with Malcolm-Jamal's character as Theo Huxtable.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So it's really important that, and Theo wasn't the entire Black experience, but it was a different version of the Black experience that we were not seeing on television at that point.
I think what you're saying, I think you're being really like intellectual about saying like he wasn't the Black experience. And having us being kids during that time, like we know, because there was no DVR, there was no streaming. So Thursday night lineup was what it was. Like everybody ran home to watch Golden Girls and Cosby. Like whatever, Cosby followed by Golden Girls, because they got more acclaim because they were following behind the number one show in America. Like everybody was running home to go watch this show. And so, like you said, if white America was like all in love with Cosby because they, we know who was the distributors and the publishers are, that means Black America saw this too. So I think, not intentionally, I do think that Theo ended up becoming like that blueprint, like that one right there. That's the young man that I think a lot of Black households, or it's not even households in general, when they were seeing a young black male kid do his thing, everybody thought of Theo Huxtable. I think that became the unsaid thing. I don't think it was intentionally done.
Yeah.
But it was the number one show for years.
I mean, and there's a double edge to that. Like,
it's a horrible edge.
yes, like it was the first time we were like really humanized, but there was a whole loaded level of the respectability politics that we grew up with. A lot of that was wrapped up in Theo Huxtable's character. Like, if you think about like the actor, I can't remember his name, the actor that played Cockroach, who later went on to play on Martin.
Carl Anthony.
Okay.
Carl Anthony Payne II.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Carl Anthony Payne, who played Cockroach on The Cosby Show, talks about why he ended up being fired from The Cosby Show. Because
I think I remember this. Yeah.
You know, he was growing his hair out. You know, this was this how he wanted his hair. And Mr. Cosby kept asking him to get his hair cut. And he's like, you better get your hair, you get your hair cut, blah, blah, blah. He was like, no, I want my hair. I've been trying to, he did not want to cut his hair. And one too many times, you know, Bill Cosby like fired him because he didn't have the clean cut look that he wanted for the show, which was sad because policing Black people's hair is really a thing. Like,
yeah, I think it definitely goes. I feel like you said it earlier in the conversation, but we are really in a time where I think Cosby was holding so tight to like, we got to keep the T's crossed and the I's dotted. We only can go so far with the Black experience.
Well,
before it becomes a problem.
We know from Cosby's like later like conversations and talks and his public appearances that he was very tied to like respectability politics. There was that whole time where he was attacking Black mothers about buying them sneakers and gold chains and not being able to like blah, 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 blah. So, you know, Cosby definitely like fell into that.
Yeah.
And so that reflected in the show a lot. But the performances of those actors in that ensemble piece, especially Malcolm-Jamal Warner's character. Malcolm-Jamal Warner talks about like when he first of all, Malcolm-Jamal Warner was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, and then later like moved to LA after his parents split up. His father moved back to Chicago, I believe, and that his mother moved back to Los Angeles. And his mother was looking for like things for him to do outside of school. Like she didn't want him just like hanging around the house or just hanging around the street. So he played basketball, and someone suggested he join this community theater. So he started doing community theater, and like he said, like one of his first curtain calls is when he like caught the bug. He like did the show, and then during the curtain call, like the audience like stood up and clapped for him. And he was like, "Oh, that was a thing." Like that was like he was like, that's when he was like, "Oh, I could do this." And he was like 9. His mother started letting him audition for other things, and he did a variety of different like acting like pop-ups. So like he was in a show called Matt Houston that starred Lee Horsley, which he played like Lee Horsley was like the big action star back then. So he was on that show, and that was like back in the 1982, I think. He had an appearance on Fame. Yeah, he did another show called Call to Glory, and until he finally landed Theo Huxtable for The Cosby Show. Now, funny thing, he had to submit twice for that show. He submitted that for Theo Huxtable several times because at the time they were looking for a 6'2", 15-year-old kid.
Okay, they wanted a tall.
Because Ennis Cosby, Bill Cosby's son, was 6'2" at 15, and so they wanted a tall teenager that could tower over Bill Cosby, as like it would be like a sight gag thing.
Yeah, and
so he would submit for it. They would deny because they wanted somebody tall. And so when they couldn't find that 6 foot tall 15-year-old, his agent submitted him again. And then he got the call and he auditioned for it. And he did like this really funny, like wisecracking, audition, and everyone was laughing except for Bill,
Interesting.
who Malcolm-Jamal Warner always refers to as Mr. Cosby. Always called him Mr. Cosby, which, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't want to dissect that.
Yeah,
weird.
it was like this holding on to a power dynamic that was weird for me.
I'm sure he was fine with it, though. I mean, Cosby was fine with it, though.
No, I feel like I think Malcolm held on to that because Cosby demanded that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think Cosby demanded that. But anyway, he has this audition. He laughs. Blah blah blah. Everybody laughs except for Bill. And Bill asks him, "Would you actually talk to your father that way?" And he said, "No, I wouldn't." He said, "Well, I want you to come back. I want you to do it again. I want you to do it as if the way you would actually talk to your father." And so he did the audition, and he was able to 180 the performance.
Come on, Malcolm.
And immediately booked the job.
Oh.
And so, yeah, like,
so cool.
So that was his. And so, people know him as Theo Huxtable, and that's why we are important. But he's had a storied career.
Yeah,
like,
it's been really great.
He did, he really worked on trying to have a lot of different shows. So he did everything. First of all, I forgot his music video directing game. Okay, so he directed several music videos that I love and remember.
Help me out. I know he did. I don't remember the songs, though. Yeah, I think he did.
Okay, so do you remember New Edition's Any Heartbreak music video?
He did do the Any Heartbreak.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner directed that music video.
She got it going. She got it going. Got it going on. She got it going.
Exactly.
Got it get going on.
And like that Any Heartbreak, that is
favorite album.
So do you remember? I am the Magnificent. By Special Ed.
By Special Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. We talking about hip hop royalty right here.
Yeah, like Malcolm-Jamal Warner directed that music video.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, and he also did episodic work. So he actually directed some episodes of The Cosby Show. He directed All That, Kenan and Kel.
Can we back up? Because All That, I believe, wasn't that their Nickelodeon version of sketch comedy show, right? That was like, imagine living, for those you don't know, it's like In Living Color Junior washed through a Nickelodeon machine.
But
All That was so good.
It was the show that
gave us Kenan and Kel.
Yeah, that gave us, the famous Kenan Thompson of SNL started on All That. And one of the shows that, Malcolm-Jamal Warner directed episodes of that. He directed episodes of his show that he did with, why can't I think of his name? Eddie Griffith, Malcolm and Eddie.
Oh, yes, Malcolm and Eddie.
He directed episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
And he also directed the Time Out, The Truth About HIV and AIDS and You in 1992, which featured Arsenio Hall and Magic Johnson. Yeah, so the list goes on. And he had like a bunch of different series. He had a series called Read Between the Lines with Tracy Ellis Ross. He did a lot of shows.
But he did, though. And you can really...
he was also a musician. He won a Grammy.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, the man has just been really talented. He also, in 2004, had a podcast called Not All Hood, to discuss the lives and experiences of Black Americans.
So he was, he reminds me of that same crew of like, you see some of these actors and actresses on like a certain couple episodes or something, but they've really been in the fabric of the entertainment scene across the board, from music to television to film, like with your favorites fave.
Well,
like
Malcolm-Jamal Warner credits his mother for like, during his time as a teenager on The Cosby Show, said to him, she said, the show's really popular now, but this is not going to last forever. So she said, when this goes, I can go, because she was his agent at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, his manager. And she was like, when this is over, I can go work, go back to typing. I got stuff to do. I can go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for you? So she always had him questioning or planning about what he would do next when the Cosby Show was over,
Yeah.
even at the height of the show.
Yeah.
So it had him thinking about like what plans and what shows.
Well,
that
baby, he
was making.
capitalized on that. And speaking to the Malcolm-Jamal Warner side of things, I do want to say that this isn't when all the shit went down with Cosby and it kind of all exploded. And this isn't the first time we've seen this, right? We've seen other shows or other bandmates have to deal with the fallout of one of their castmates or one of their members. Something gets unearthed and some horrendous stuff came out about it. I know, like, when we all were like figuring out how we felt about the stuff Cosby had done, we looked to the other cast members. What was Keisha saying? What was Tempest and Felicia? How were they reacting to it? How was Malcolm reacting to it? And I have to say that, you know, it might be varying degrees of people might differ, but I appreciated how Malcolm tried to hold this line of, you talked about respectability politics, but I think because I didn't realize how far-reaching his career was when he spoke about this, I think he understood that him speaking on this in whatever way he chose to speak on it would vibrate in a lot of different places. I think a lot of people, whether they said it or not, unofficially leaned to, you know, Felicia Rashad. How are y'all responding to this to help ground and help navigate how we wanted to respond to this? And I think he did the best he could as a mature adult, as someone who has been a child star who went through a lot and kind of has, I don't want to say he didn't come out unscathed, but he still had this really successful career without a lot of the drop off that we see other child stars have to get there. I didn't say he didn't have his shortcomings, but the stuff like, for example, like the Drew Barrymores of the world have gone through, or the Lindsay Lohans, like there were some low times, but he still held his grace and held, I think, character about himself, even in the midst of this big ass scandal.
Well, I will say, unlike other, cast members like that showed up at court and showed up and outright, deny the allegations, Malcolm-Jamal Warner has never expressed an outright defense for Bill Cosby. In fact, when questioned about it, he consistently has said he cannot defend Cosby's actions
and left it
behavior.
right there. It didn't expand. He didn't expound on it. He didn't go in. I don't need to I can't defend this. Thank you so much. Next question.
Yeah.
Like, I always respected his moves around that. And I think he, like, to be a kid and to wield that kind of power. We've seen this happen, particularly with superstars who get famous, right? They get the hit song, they get the hit show, not recognizing all that, what comes with it. And then they try to, how do I hold this? I'm not trying to speak for everybody, but everybody keep asking me the same question, so maybe I am speaking for this group of people.
Mm-hmm.
He could have wielded this power, if you will, in so many different ways. He could have capitalized on everybody else tearing this man down, rightfully so, because he had it coming and he didn't. Like, there's certain, and I think everybody, all the celebrities that I saw speak out and, giving him his flowers, they all kind of collectively said the same thing. Like, he had a lot of honor, he had a lot of character, he had a lot of maturity. He could listen to me. He felt like a voice. He was a breath of fresh air, like, consistently in all of these different circles. And that, to me, also represents something just as powerful as Theo Huxtable on screen. And here's how an actor, a black male actor, is conducting himself in Hollywood with all of the amenities that comes with it from being famous and somewhat rich. And I think he just carried himself in a way that I think a lot of people, if they model that, if they walk that same walk, that, they might have a career that, when we look back on it, is a legacy to be respected.
Well, I think the thing that's important is that he listened to black women. Like,
there it is right there.
Is that he listened to a black woman. Black woman, his mother said, and then it comes from, like, his parents. Like, I read somewhere that he's Malcolm-Jamal Warner, like, his name comes from that he's named after Malcolm X and
That makes a lot of sense.
Ahmad Jamal, the jazz musician.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's named after those two people.
So fitting.
Like,
So fitting.
yeah. So let's talk about Malcolm-Jamal Warner plays Theo Huxtable, and that portrayal of a young black male actually broadens up the more humanizing world of black teenager or black manhood. Yeah. We see a different version of black manhood on television.
Yeah.
And we know that it's marketable. It's the number one show on television. Mm-hmm. So we can see more of those characters. Mm-hmm. So you wanted us to talk about?
Yeah, I want to offer up some other great portrayals of black male, black boy joy, black malehood that I think there's been enough of the character to kind of really give us a well-rounded version of this, of that character. And I think it's just a great I think there's really beautiful beacons of just black male excellence that I just wanted to highlight. And I want to be clear, even though this episode is called The Power of Black Boy Joy, it is not just something about superficial. It's not about, hey, there's happens to be a black character in the lineup. It reminds me of that happens to be there and he happens to be smiling and that's Black Boy Joy. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about the enduring love and discovery and just allowed to be and breathe whatever that landscape is. And when I watch the portrayal of this character, I walk away feeling joyful.
Yeah,
I walk away getting something from it.
I think in each one of these characters that we're going to talk about is a more humanized portrayal of a black man that we didn't have. With this performance, the culture is infused in it, and there's a cultural honesty there is about these characters. But at the same time, these characters are all characters or people that we know. They're real. They're not some, hyper masculine fantasy of what black men are.
Okay, that right there. Yes, that's it. Thank you. That whole traditional stupid framework of what they think a black man is supposed to be, how he's supposed to look, sound, and all of that. Yeah, all of that is off the table. It's just, and it's interesting because I think either an episode ago or 2 episodes ago, we were talking about how do you define masculinity? Oh, in the interview, with Andre
Helen.
Yeah, like we were talking about like his portrayal of masculinity and how different that
and
was,
how
right?
He has a very tender, he did a very tender and like soft portrayal of black masculinity.
And I feel like I'm looking at the people that I want to talk about and they all give a very different.
Well, one of the things that I learned from Black, because I went and saw Love Brooklyn again at Black Star Film Festival this weekend, and there was a Q&A afterwards. And one of the things that he said about this portrayal was that, for a long time, he would get into roles, or he did classical theater, and he would do like these, these plays that are written by Chekhov, but we're putting it in modern day. We're putting in American text, and like there's all these different people that are playing these characters. But whenever he would talk the way he would usually talk, a director would always say, "I feel like you're doing the lines a little too urban," and he'd be like, "Well, that guy is from Wisconsin, and he's definitely not speaking Russian. So why can't, if he can, do the role that way, why can't I do the role this way?" And so it was like bringing that honesty to a role was really important for him. And I think that's what I'm finding in all of these characters is that these actors were able to bring a level of honesty to their performances, which I really appreciate.
And I think it's in that honesty, we can see ourselves, even if they don't carry the same kind of social identifiers we are, even if they don't identify as queer or Christian or anything like that. It's that bringing that authenticity to the character allows me, who might have a similarity but a bunch of differences, I can still access that character. All right, so let's jump into it.
All right, who you got?
Oh, first and foremost, rest in peace. I'm going to go with Chadwick Boseman. We ain't even going to play no games. We talking about, and I'm talking specifically about Black Panther. I had to throw this in
I
here.
was going to put some money on it. I was like, how we talking about black men, we talking about male betrayal.
Yep.
I could have put money
All the money.
on whether Alexis Bertrand
You
was
knew I was gonna do
walk
it.
in here and
Chadwick.
mention Black Panther.
Hell yeah. I'm not even gonna hold you. We wouldn't even talk about it. It is the greatest superhero movie you will ever watch. Stop playing with me. The first to do it. We know why he did it. We know what he endured when he went through it. Stop it.
You know what? I'm gonna do a best of episodes, and I'm gonna do a bunch of clips of all the times that you done mentioned Black Panther.
If you go back and listen to our old episodes.
In the run of this show.
In the run of the show.
How many times you have mentioned Black Panther?
Alexa's gonna squiz Black Panther in there somewhere if you can. Okay.
I don't have any movies, so
I just throw that in there.
I have a bunch of TV shows.
Come on, give me one. And y'all, this is not in any particular order.
Not in any particular order. We're just throwing them out there.
Yeah.
So one show that I have you ever seen The Good Place?
Yes. Is that with Ted Danson? No, Ted Danson.
Yeah. Yes. It's with Ted Danson, Kristen Bell,
yes,
Jamil, and William Jackson Harper plays Chidi. I love this show. I love this show particularly because of Chidi. Chidi is just this well-meaning, very, very intelligent black man, Nigerian.
Beautiful.
That is supposed to be. Chidi has a doctorate in philosophy and is always trying to figure out what to do the right thing. But he has so much philosophy in his head and so many philosophical theories. Chidi has a very hard time making decisions. And it's just so hilarious watching Chidi like melt down trying to do the right thing.
Like he crashes out so easy over just trying to figure it out. And I love the way he allows this shows like black men being really, really complex, super analytical, overthinking. It's not like grunt and Neanderthal. Like he's really, really intellectual and like I love when we can be nerds. I love when we're allowed to be nerds like that. So I'm all into that.
What you got?
I'm gonna jump in. Well, we're gonna keep it with the. We'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna go to my boy Tyler James Williams in Abbott Elementary. I was recently watching the episode. He plays Gregory Eddie, and it's the first one where he's now decided to make the choice to be the teacher, to be the full-time teacher at Abbott. And he comes in and he's got like all the lists printed out. He's got all the board space filled up with how he wants to run the day and how he wants to figure out the schedule. And you just see, like I see so much of myself as a young teacher wanting to be so perfect
Melting
for all
down.
of these kids. And they ain't even walked in the door yet. And he has literally worked himself into a tizzy. But
and I love how the veteran teachers is going to be like, child, none of this is going to work.
None of this. Erase all of this. Like, I loved it. And I remember my mentor telling me the same thing. He to me portrays such a genuine, like, I'm a dude's dude. I like to garden. I don't want to be the center of attention, but I'll help you. And I really, really do care about these kids. Like, I love his portrayal. He's one of my favorites. So give it up for Tyler James. That's my entry right there. And if you ain't watching Abbott, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing?
What is your problem?
What do you talk to people about?
You're ridiculous. Like, I can't even handle you.
You don't watch
at
Abbott
all.
Elementary?
Like, what? Girl, bye.
So from like the fall to the summer, what do you talk to people about? How do you relate to
like
people?
If you tell me you don't watch Abbott, I'm like, okay, so that's sacrilegious, and I got to go over here.
I don't know if it's sacrilegious. It just tells me something about you, and I'm just
that
like,
I don't want to know. That should be like that.
No, I just like in my head, I'm just like, oh, you don't like nice things. It's fine.
Good, fair. Because
there are people out there, they just don't like nice things.
They really don't. You like junk. I get it.
That's okay. It's fine.
You like Duck Dynasty, don't you? Weirdo. Weird ass. You watch that Duck Dynasty bull, don't you?
You said Duck Dynasty.
Okay.
So my next thing, I got the entire cast. So I'm going to run it down.
down.
We got Echo Kellum. We got Aaron Jennings.
Yes.
We got Justin Cunningham. We got Carl Tart. They are all part of the cast of Grand Crew.
Yo, I'm so sad this show is not on anymore.
Listen, it's about a group of friends that The get together at their local wine bar.
At the local wine bar.
And just be able to get together and chew the fat, honey.
It's literally black folks living their best life with wine. It's so good. It was so good.
Yeah, and that's their thing. It's like they get together and meet up and have a glass of wine and talk about what happened and what's going on with career and life and dating.
They explored black love, it was really. I wish this show gets picked back up because it really was a dope little scene. Seeing Grand Crew. It has 2 seasons. If you never watched it, it's easily digestible. Please check it out. It was so fun. It's such a fun show.
It's such a fun
show.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so I'll say that one for later. But I want to go in to New Girl.
So, yeah.
So Lamorne Morris, who has a long history too. He plays Winston Bishop in New Girl. And honestly, low key, I will always say that New Girl to me is a suitable alternative to Friends because Friends
give you that. Yep.
Right? It never had a black castmate. And I think what New Girl did right is that they didn't let Lamorne's character just be adjunct or adjacent to what was happening with his white friends. They gave him his own storyline. He was very quirky. He was nerdy. He was somewhat of an introvert. They allowed him to be his kind of weird little self, and they didn't apologize for that. And I liked that. I liked if they were gonna have this black man play in this show, make him a living part of it, and it just made the world seem different. So, and I love his work anyway. So I haven't, since you want to point out that I was talking about Black Panther like that, I can talk about some new shit too, like New Girl. So if you looking for another, late 20-somethings, 30-something friends getting together, I think his portrayal of a brother shows up very differently, and it's still really authentic, and I really, really liked it. So that's one of mine from now. What you got now?
So I'm gonna go with a young Damon Wayans Jr. in a series called Happy Endings.
Oh my God, Roger! I used to love this show.
Happy Endings was a show about 6 young kids in Chicago. They're young 20-somethings, 20, 30-somethings in Chicago trying to figure out adulthood. So yeah.
I love that. That was such a good show. I think they had 3 or 4 seasons too. So 2 people that I'm paying attention to that I want to mention at the same time here is I have really been paying attention to Justice Smith's work.
Yeah.
I think it's particularly with he's done both of the latest Jurassic Park movies. He did the Dungeons and Dragons movies. And what I like about them, he gives me to me, he's the living embodiment of Octavia Butler, what she wanted for the world. We exist in sci-fi. We exist in hyper fictional dinosaur worlds or lands of magic and goblins. We exist there. And he always shows up there. And it reminded me of when you were talking about Andre Holland's, when he was reflecting on himself being in school. Why can't I show up in this character, just be portrayed like this? It's when Justice does he also did Pokemon Detective.
Mm-hmm.
When he shows up, it is not it's not heavy-handed like Samuel L. Jackson, right? Samuel L. Jackson and Samuel L. Jackson in every film.
Okay.
Right? And I love it. I'm here for all of it, but I feel Justice feels I can feel some part of his
character
blackness has always got a tinge of black on it.
He always brings a cultural honesty to his characters, but then at the same time, there's always, there's always nuance. There's always something he brings different to each character. I love all his movies. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Sharper.
You're the 8th person I was talking because I've been talking about Justice Smith's work. I don't know this film.
It was very good.
What kind of is it? It's not a horror.
Thriller.
Which is why I didn't think your ass would have seen it because you don't really be messing with stuff like that. Boo.
It's a psychological thriller. There's a lot.
Is it Is it in the same manner I saw the TV Glow?
No, I saw the TV Glow. It was definitely a horror.
Okay.
there's a lot of metaphor going on there.
Sharper.
Yeah, sharper.
Yeah, you like the. Yeah, people keep telling me about this one from.
Oh yeah,
she say it's cute.
Oh yeah, there's Sebastian Stan is in it. Julianne Moore. Yeah,
you got some hitters.
There's a lot of folks in this.
You got some hitters in there, Ron.
Yeah.
Speaking of hitters,
Mhm.
so don't get mad at me, but I was gonna bring in another superhero.
Come on, boy, you gonna bring it in?
Okay, so Shamik Moore, Mahershala Ali, and Brian Tyree Henry all played in a movie together. Okay, second clue.
Is this The Eternals?
No.
No.
Ooh, I love that you picked that out though. So, okay, better way to say that they all voice acted in this movie together.
I don't know what is this?
The Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, that's right.
So yes, so Shamik is the voice of Miles Morales.
That's right.
Mahershala Ali.
I should have known when you said Shamik because I really haven't seen him in anything else.
You haven't, right? You haven't,
that.
but you've heard him everywhere, and we've talked about this before. Like this is this generation's Spider-Man, and I love those films. We're all anticipating the third one. They're all coming back for it, but particularly the relationship. It's nice to see like Miles and his uncle Aaron, and Miles and his dad Jefferson. That reminds me, again, culturally relevant, culturally authentic, just seeing how like here's this Black and Latino son talking to his dad, and he's kind of giving him the father advice, but then when he goes talk to his uncle, he's a bit more relaxed, and his uncle can just kind of talk the street language to him and the street swag. Like I remember growing up with that, where you had your family members who were very much into church, or they're very much into being respectable, and then you had those family members that are like, let me pull you around this corner, let me tell you some real shit. Like, and that's what it felt like you get from those relationships, and I love seeing it in this animated style because you know me, like if you can appeal to children, you can appeal to 10-year-olds, you can appeal to 80-year-olds. So I wanted to make sure we got them into the conversation, and then I only got one more actually, but you got anybody else?
I have two. I think I talked about this series a while back. It's going to be hard. Like you can probably only get it on BritBox right now. But
you be loving your British television now.
Yes.
Well, wait a minute. What you about to tell me?
It's a series called Mr. Loverman.
No, I don't know this one, Mr. Loverman.
I feel like we talked about this before, but this is amazing story. It's a series. It chronicles the relationship between these two men, Barrington and Morris, and it chronicles their relationship. They have been in love since they were teenagers in the Caribbean, growing up in the Caribbean, and then they both of them migrate to.
I think you might have talked about this one. I don't remember this.
To the UK.
Yeah.
But they both marry women.
Ooh, plot twist.
They both marry women because during the time that they migrate, one, it's not acceptable for them to live a queer life.
Right.
You know, both on the island or in the in England, in the UK. Yeah, and they're both now in like, it's the span of 60 years from them being teenagers to them being in their 70s to them finally deciding to live their lives. It's a series.
This is a series?
Yeah.
How many seasons did it get?
It only has the one season. It literally just came out in like 2024.
Oh, nice.
And like you couldn't get, I don't think you could get it in America until 2020.
Is it giving bingeable?
It's definitely bingeable. But you know, Great Britain, like BBC is not letting Americans have this series.
No, I don't blame them. They ain't fucking with us.
Because we love to remake a British series
and then make it a hit. So act like we came up with it.
BBC was like, nah. We want to get at least 3 seasons first before you try to copy this.
Touches, because you know we will. God, we are famous for taking some shit.
Then a series I talked about a while back called The Z Suite on Tubi.
Yes, you did.
So
Tubi need to give us some credits because I swear, yo, Roger, you be keeping Tubi alive on this show. Like, I
Well,
ain't mad at it
I
'cause
mean,
you
they
got me
definitely
watching
tried.
Tubi. You got me watching Tubi stuff now.
But in a few weeks, I'm going to be talking about another platform called OTV that features intersectional television movies, series. There's a lot of shorts. I want you to.
Is this a season 3 opener?
I don't know if it might. Maybe. We'll
Child,
see.
don't give too much. Don't give too much
I won't
right
give
now.
him too much.
Do
We won't
too
give
much.
him too
Too much. Okay.
But that's all I got. That's what you got.
So my last one, it makes me smile. Okay, honorable mention to Steve Urkel. If you were an Urkel fan, I get it. But we also, like, that was pretty legendary, his run there, too, because I had looked up, like, just famous, just black teenager actors, like, who kind of, like, were, like, the lead characters. And there weren't that many. From Theo, not to say that they weren't cast that had young black boys in it, but to be a lead actor, like, you didn't see that until Family Matters. And so I just want to mention Steve Urkel because child star, big time, I get it. But that's not who I wanted to end with. I wanted to end, when I think of the power of Black Boy Joy, we talked about Malcolm-Jamal Warner's impact. But I just want to bring up these two young brothers' impact on me, particularly the young man who played Geordie LaForge on a show called Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Absolutely.
He was an engineer. He was an engineer there, and his characterization of that Starfleet officer was really the driving force for me wanting to pursue engineering in college, because I saw him do that. And then I can't mention, because I'm a Star Trek fan, so I also have to mention Avery Brooks, who played Captain Sisko on Deep Space Nine, who was literally a Starfleet captain, and he was this black man. And again, who was raising his son and raising a family. And I think both of their portrayals, and that's the thing the one critique that I did have about Geordie LaForge, that he was never allowed, I shouldn't say never allowed, but he didn't write that, but his character was never given a true love interest. So
they said he often, that was his one critique, was that they neutered Geordie.
Yes, and sad because we never got to see what that side of him was. And weirdly enough, it allowed me to have this constant connection and access to this character, because yes, I knew I was queer at the time, but watching this character, I just got to focus on who these other parts of Geordie LaForge. I just got to focus on, like, his love of science and figuring things out, that sometimes it wasn't the big arms or the guns or the weaponry that would solve the problems. It was the big brains. And I've always have a really soft space for the Trekkies, for the Starship. I can't talk, I'm so high. For the Starship Starfleet officers. But yeah, LeVar Burton and Avery Brooks were big. They're big people for me in my life and my work. So that's it, because I swear to God, I'm high boots to the heavens.
Well, I have a couple more that
you better come up with a couple more, because I'm about to pass out.
I didn't want to forget. I definitely want to talk about Michael Cooper Jr. as Justin Edwards in the series Forever.
Absolutely. Shit! How did I forget that one?
Yeah, in the series Forever. Amazing performance, beautiful show.
That was so good.
I can't forget Jabari Banks, Adrian Holmes, Ali Sholatan, Jimmy Akabola, and Jordan Jones, all black men that star in the series Bel Air.
Yeah.
And their performances.
Which is really good. Bel Air is really... Are they doing another season?
I hope so. I feel like they are.
It's really compelling.
It was like, first of all, the idea alone, when they were like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as a serious drama, I was like, I would watch the hell out of that.
And I actually do.
It is really, like, to retell that story seriously, because there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
It's deep.
I think these are great performances. Shout out to Adrian Holmes, who finally just became a member actual member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Oh, okay. Hey.
He was playing his character, Uncle Phil, was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, but the actor itself was not a member. And as of I think this spring, he became
I see your pride
a
coming
member
out.
of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. I don't know about pride. I happen to be a member.
You
as
just
well.
happen to. I
just wanted
I
to
love the
mention
way you
it because it was
navigate.
in my time. It was in my timeline. But yes, so yes, that I did enjoy that show. I enjoyed those actors' portrayals of those characters and
Great.
bringing
I
some
forgot Bel Air.
humanity to those characters. So I want to just mention some
I'm glad
modern-day
that you did. So I hope, listen, y'all, I hope you got some great, you hear some variation from us. Check out any of the stuff that we mentioned. I love the fact that, I'll back up. Let me back up and say, us as Black men, we're multidimensional, we're multifaceted, and we deserve to be portrayed that way on screen. And I think the people that we mentioned, with Malcolm-Jamal Warner being at the top, do that very well. And I appreciate that work. I would love to see more of this. I would love to see more layers to us. I think there's more. I think there's way more stories to tell, of not just of perseverance, but of just joy and excellence and just growth and discovery and just being happy to be Black and happy to be just boys. And just living life. I don't want to see us all destitute. I always don't want to see us going through struggle. I just want to see us smiling and happy and just being who we are, whatever that landscape may be it sci-fi, be it science, be it horror, be it a love story. We deserve to have all of that. And I love seeing all those different variations because we are varied and we're awesome. So I just wanted to say that. So thank y'all for listening to this episode because it meant a lot to both of us, particularly when we think about some of our legends that have moved on and now become ancestors. But I really dug this one, and I'm gonna go back because I feel like there was a couple things that you mentioned that I didn't pick up that I want to go watch. So Sharper being one of them.
So before we leave, I want to mention that this episode, I did mention earlier that I was at the Black Star Film Festival, and I have so much to share with you.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So if you guys want to get ahead of the episode, because I'm gonna do a full rundown. We're gonna do a full interview about my experience at Black Star and some of the films that I'm excited about that I want you to check out. So I want you to, if you want to, you can go to blackstarfilmfestival.org and go on and look at some of the awards that were awarded.
Yeah.
You can look at some of the trailers and find out where some of these films are going to be distributed or where you can find these films.
Yeah.
Also, we did do an interview with Andre Holland about
Sweet as God.
about Love Brooklyn. Guys, Love Brooklyn is coming out in New York, exclusively in New York on August 29th is when it premieres at the Angelic Theater. Guys, they don't have a distributor. If you want this film to happen, which I'm telling you, it's such a good movie. I finally got to see this movie with an audience. Ugh.
It probably just
It was
changed
a
the
whole nother experience seeing it with an audience because everything that I was thinking, the audience was going,
I think if you love it reminded me of like Love Jones, Love and Basketball.
well, that was the thing that Andre was.
vibe.
That
It
was
had
the
that
thing
vibe.
that Andre was saying about this film. He's also a producer on the film that you'll find out in our. That he was saying that he's a fan of those movies and he hasn't seen those movies from us in a while. And he just wants to. And he wanted to create that for himself. He wanted to be in one of those kind of movies.
It's so beautiful. It's so fly. It really is. It really was.
It was a great film. So, so try to go out and see Love Brooklyn if you live in the New York area at the Angelic Theater on August 29th, and look out for it in a theater near you on September 5th, anywhere.
There we go.
And that episode will be our season closer for season 2.
Yes.
And we'll be ramping up and getting prepared for getting a lot of treats for you for season 3.
Yeah.
But
so make sure you tune into that last episode. It's going to be exciting because I didn't go to the film festival, so I actually get to interview Roger, and so we get to hear his firsthand experience with this just awesome film festival that he will not stop talking about. But we are trying to hold him. All of us who love him trying to hold him so we can get it recorded because it's going to be that good. So please stay tuned.
All right. So what do you want to tell the people?
I want to tell the people, listen, y'all, while you are out in the world, be good or be good at it.
And I want you to know that you are enough just as you are. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.